Aitor Garmendia is a photographer focused on documenting the lives of exploited and liberated non-human animals. His work offers information for the analysis of especism and its consequences. I studied art and photography as a major at university, but I left halfway through and went to live in London. There, I met the animal liberation movement, and shortly after, I was immersed in it. It was there, with an organization in which I was involved for several years, where I began to use photography with the aim of documenting animal exploitation for the first time. One of the moments that has marked me the most happened during the first time I accessed a chicken farm. I was between two rows of thousands of cages. The atmosphere was very oppressive. The meat industry not only exploits animals, but is also seriously influencing the rights of people. With its secrecy, with its propaganda. That is why I think that the meat eater is mistaken for an enemy. It is the industry that restricts their freedom and rights, and also that influence their eating behavior, and not the animal rights organizations that with their investigations only provide information. However, a photograph has limited utility. If there is no collective force, no social struggle, the animals will continue to be exploited. Animal photojournalist Andrew Skowron worked as a photo reporter in the media for 14 years. I always consider myself to be an empathic person. I spent my childhood in a village among farm animals. With time, my awareness about the injustice that we inflict upon animals grew. Eventually, it led me to become involved in animal rights. I consider photography to be my best weapon and recognize its potential in animal advocacy. That's why I chose this path. As time passed, I merged my private interests with my profession and started working full-time to document animal cruelty. Every form of factory farming is a welfare sure death sentence. The only time animals leave a farm is to be slaughtered. My work is not artistic images for us to savor. It is a brutal truth that is meant to educate. To make us draw appropriate conclusions, a narrative that is meant to show the world in a 1-to-1 ratio. Every image that reaches the general public can cause change. Be it legislative change or change of attitude in just one person. It is really hard to pinpoint one moment, the most important one. But what I remember most clearly are the moments when we were able to rescue an animal from a farm, change the fate it has been predestined to even before it was born. My motivation is that animal suffering still exists, that still greed trumps over empathy. I will get out of bed as long as farm and slaughterhouse workers do. They will get up to work, I will get up to document their work. I decided to turn my camera on this industry after I learned about our troubled relationship with animals. Timo Stammberger is a Berlin-based documentary photographer. I became more and more curious and started to document what is taking place behind industry walls. My most memorable moment for sure is the first time I entered a pig breeding facility and witnessed suffering animals with my own eyes. I saw dead and dying baby piglets right in front of me, with their seemingly apathetic mothers right next to them. I think the most successful photos raise questions without answering them. To shake viewers without scaring them away often is a fine line. I once documented the rescue of a baby chicken from a farm's waste container, where they keep all the animals who haven't survived the conditions. But he was still alive, very injured and piping in pain. He was taken to a vet right in the middle of that night, but sadly couldn't be saved. This experience really took me off guard. I believe nobody wants animals to suffer. There is no sustainable way of animal farming on a planet with billions of people. Put yourself in the position of those who are suffering. What we are eating is a matter of personal choice, but who we are eating is not.